Today we're checking out 3 brand new Mandela effects. My plan was to originally theme this episode around nature, the weather, animals, and then I couldn't find another new nature-y Mandela effect, but I did find a biblical one. Nonetheless, I have a great collection for you today, so stick around to hear them all. Lightning. One of nature's most impressive, beautiful, and terrifying displays. Lightning from a distance is amazing to watch, but if you're too close, you risk it hitting you or something nearby. We've all seen it before and experienced its power, so I have a very simple Mandela effect question for you today. Is lightning attracted to metal? Yes or no? The answer in the minds of many is yes, duh. But that is in fact not the answer and never has been. Lightning is not attracted to metal. Myth, legend, old wives' tales, or Mandela effect, who really knows, but this will come as a great surprise to many. The common belief was that metal attracted lightning, and that being near metal during a thunderstorm increases your chance of being hit by lightning. Certain objects such as piercings, cell phones, jewelry, and watches can all increase your chances. Well, as it is now, none of these things actually increase your chances of being hit by lightning. The dominant factors as to what gets hit are height, isolation, and pointy shape. The presence of metal makes absolutely no difference on where lightning strikes. So where does this come from? Is it because we all have seen or heard of metal towers being hit by lightning? Is it because all metals are at least somewhat conductive and we extrapolated from that more than we should have? Or is it simply a pervasive and incorrect image that so many of us collectively share? What do you think? As it is now, the taller the tower, the higher the probability that lightning will strike. Towers that are over 1,000 feet in height can expect to be struck by lightning 4 or more times in a single year in the United States. But again, this is because of their height, isolation, and pointy shape. Metal doesn't factor into it. So let me know, is this what you remember? I'm going to go into more detail on this Mandela effect later in the video. Ostriches are gigantic 6 to 9 feet tall flightless birds that roam across the African savanna. Fun fact, enough of these birds have escaped containment in Australia that native colonies have formed. Wow. Anyway, for this Mandela effect, I'm going to ask you a true or false question about ostriches. Let me hear in the comments what you remember. Here we go. An ostrich buries its head in the sand when it gets scared or threatened. True or false? What do you think? The correct answer is false, and apparently always has been false. Ostriches, in fact, never bury their heads, not even in sand. Ostriches are massive and powerful creatures who either fight back with strong kicks and razor-sharp talons, or simply run away at a maximum speed of 70 kilometers or 43.5 miles an hour. One theory behind this weird concept that so many people previously shared is that ostriches are often foraging for food or eating off the ground, perhaps making it look like its head is lower than it is. Another theory behind all this is when an ostrich is burying its egg, it covers it back up with its head. But neither of these fully explain why so many people believe that ostriches bury their head in the sand when they're scared or threatened. So what do you think? Did you believe this as well, or have you always known? Let me hear your thoughts below. This next Mandela effect comes from the Christian Bible. So if you're not familiar with the climax of Jesus' story, let me catch you up. Jesus Christ had his Last Supper with his disciples. Afterwards, Judas betrays Jesus by leading a group of armed people to arrest him. So here is where the new Mandela effect comes in. Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, cuts off the ear of a man trying to arrest Jesus. The man whose ear is cut off. Is he a slave or a Roman soldier? So the correct answer to this question is slave. For some reason, many people believe this man whose ear was cut off was a Roman soldier, but is now in fact a temple slave. Is that what you remember? Now, the collection of books in the Bible is ripe for Mandela effects, because the books of Matthew, Mark, and Luke are all varying retellings of the same stories. The only real outlier is John, who has even more numerous changes. All this to say, one could believe the Mandela effect in this case could be caused by the differences in books, but that doesn't solve the mystery either. In fact, the incident of the slave's ear being cut off is recorded in all 4 Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But the slave being named Malchus and the disciple being named Simon Peter are only mentioned in John. Even stranger still, in one of the books, Luke, Jesus apparently healed the slave's ear, but not in the other 3 books. So what do you think? Does this mean anything to you? Did you already have an opinion on this topic? I'm curious to hear what everyone else out there remembered. Was it a Roman soldier's ear that was cut off, or was it a slave? As always, leave all your thoughts below. It's time for a bonus. Here's a new segment I'd like to start doing in all of these videos going forward. Towards the end, before the gift card giveaway, I thought it'd be cool to look at an update to a previous Mandela effect. I usually make one and done videos, but sometimes new residue or evidence appears on older effects and it'd be cool to talk about it. A long time ago, someone discovered that side mirrors on cars and motorcycles had changed. Many believed that they said objects in mirror may be closer than they appear, but what it says now is objects in mirror are closer than they appear. For the people that believe it was maybe closer, one of the reasons they argued that it said that was because it wasn't for sure. Determining distance from a tiny mirror isn't always accurate or easy, so it made sense that it said objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. But nowadays, they only read as are closer. It's a weird, seemingly nitpick thing, but a lot of people swear by this. In fact, the phrase that is used today, are closer, is federally mandated and hasn't changed since its enactment. So where does maybe come from? Amazingly enough, the remembered maybe version has never officially existed. What do you remember? Anyway, in comes Torquemada_1369, who has apparently discovered the holy grail of side mirrors. He has uploaded 2 clips of a motorcycle mirror, which has the engraved text that apparently never existed, yet here it is. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. From all of his posts and comments, he seems like a genuine person, just confused why this one is different. One theory proposed is that this is perhaps a replacement part knockoff with the wrong text embedded into it. Others believe that this is the real deal and that somehow the damage to the mirror allowed it to retain its original form. It's an old Mandela effect that now has some interesting new residue. So what do you think? So there you go, lightning, ostriches, the Bible, and an update. What a weird mix of new Mandela effects, huh? The one that really hit me hard was the lightning Mandela effect. In fact, I discovered this Mandela effect listening to a trivia video about the video game The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In that game, if you are running around during a thunderstorm with a metal weapon or metal shield equipped, you'll get struck by lightning. When I played this, I thought, yeah, duh, of course, this makes perfect sense. Why has no other video game ever implemented something this clever before? Well, this trivia video I was watching talked about this and how it wasn't actually real and has never been the case. What? So that threw me into this wild investigation, and here we are. I love making these videos because stuff like this never gets old. It's always so random and unexpected, and sometimes it's really shocking. What is the last movie you saw in theaters? 2020 was an insane year, and it caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. One of the many side effects of everything was the closure of hundreds of movie theaters across America. Attendance is obviously low right now, and the box office is all but dead, but who knows what the future holds? Maybe it'll come back to life, or maybe at-home streaming will take over as the prevailing way to watch movies. As we wait for better times, let's reminisce. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, check out all of my other channels and Patreon if you haven't. And until next time,